Anmol Pawar, you'll get your time. Please let Dr. Anil Kumar Gupta speak.
This happens when they are caught red-handed. They just interpret the debates. This is their habit, and they just laugh in front of the channel. They are all digital. They are doing the all digital fraud. Who has authorized? Which law has authorized in the country to take personal data to spread this false propaganda? Have these schemes? That means the officers which have published these advertisements today, they are not working. They are not. This is what they mean to say, because that means the CM Atishi is not competent. The CM is lying. The Kejriwal ji is lying. There is no any official statement. The advertisement clearly shows there is no scheme of Sanjeevani or the Mahila Saman Yogi. So they are just fooling the citizen of Delhi just to take vote. They are just buying the citizen of Delhi to take vote. And what about the Dhula? See, still the system has started at the appropriate time. The Delhi BJP will announce the CM face, that is sure. But you cannot dictate the BJP to announce at our terms. See, we will announce that at the appropriate time. We have been doing this practice in other states also. But please, spare the citizen of Delhi. Don't do fraud with the citizen of Delhi. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Anmol Pawar, would you like to clarify also on the allegations that are made by Delhi Chief Minister Atishi and former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal? They say the sources are telling them there is a conspiracy being hatched. ED, CBI, IT, all three probe agencies are being told to fabricate a false case against Atishi and send her to jail. Do you have any clue about the sources who are telling your netas that this is going to happen? Or is it just the same fear-mongering that AAP does before every political election?
Aditi ji, in the past, the Honorable Supreme Court has said that the Enforcement Directorate and CBI, they are working as caged parrots of Bharatiya Janata Party. They are working at the behest of Bharatiya Janata Party. And in the past also, we have seen that whenever Arvind ji made a public statement that their leaders are being framed in false and fabricated cases, it has came true. In the past, our leaders, Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, they all were sent to jail in a false and fabricated case where even the Supreme Court has very categorically said that there's no evidence, that there's no proof. And because this is happening because they cannot match the Arvind Kejriwal model of governance. The BJP does not believe in Kaam ki Rajniti. They only focus on this Nakaratmak Rajniti. That is why they cannot...
But Congress also has come out against you and said, your own ally in the India bloc, which is fighting against you in Delhi, they are also saying you are corrupt, you have no work to show. Kejriwal, Fejriwal, ऐसे words use किए जा रहे हैं आप ही के नेता के खिलाफ.
Aditi ji, Arvind Kejriwal's proven track record in Delhi is evident for all. I mean, whether it's delivering on promises like electricity, water, senior citizen pilgrimage, free rights for women, mohalla clinics, we all have seen that his model has been lauded not just in India but even worldwide.
Okay.
The likes of former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan has said. And as far as this allegation of corruption is concerned, in the past 10 years, we have seen that more than 250 cases have been filed against our leaders, wherein in 95% of the cases, the court has wrapped the enforcement agencies, the Delhi police, that false cases have been filed and the leaders have been acquitted. And we are confident that in the remaining cases also, we will come out clean. And this attempt is by the Bharatiya Janata Party to stop the work in Delhi. But we have ensured, our leader has ensured that the people of Delhi does not suffer.
Okay, so this controversy will continue to rage, and I'm sure you all will have certain points to say, taking both of you and thanking both of you for making your points, Dr. Anil Kumar Gupta and Anmol Pawar from the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. Thank you so much for coming over and clarifying. This is a hot potato just ahead of Delhi elections. Delhi Chief Minister is saying, I'm being arrested. Delhi departments are saying the schemes are non-existing. More will continue on this as this remains our top focus here at NDTV. So keep watching. We'll be right back after this break.
are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience. Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual sangam, a sacred confluence.
And top National Democratic Alliance leaders are set to meet to address the controversy surrounding Home Minister Amit Shah's remarks on B.R. Ambedkar, strategies for key state polls, and one nation, one election, among others. These informations are as per sources. The meeting to be held at BJP President JP Nadda's residence is aimed at bolstering coordination among allies and counter the opposition narrative. Apart from Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, leaders of NDA allies are also expected to attend this meeting. My colleague Vasudha Venugopal is also joining me from outside the residence of Delhi BJP Chief JP Nadda. Vasudha, thank you so much for joining us. Give us all the details who all are arriving at the residence of JP Nadda to attend this key meet and what will be the key agenda.
Right, Aditi, we come to you from right outside JP Nadda's residence. JP Nadda is the president of the BJP. These are the last 2 months of his tenure. BJP also, we understand, will see fresh elections for the post of the president. So personally also for him, this is an important meeting, and it also happens to be Atal Bihari Vajpayee's birth anniversary today. And coincidentally, he's also the man who's responsible, in some ways seen as the original architect of the NDA. So of course, the NDA meeting is going to take place today in the midst of, the Ambedkar controversy. There's a lot of conversation about the Waqf Amendment Bill. There's a lot of conversation about the One Nation, One Poll Bill that was introduced the last session, which is the winter session. Of course, both of them are being scrutinized by the JPC. So NDA leaders are arriving now. Let me tell you, the people who have already arrived. Anupriya Patel of Apna Dal has already arrived. She has 2 MPs. There's also Jitanram Manjhi of the Hindustani Awam Party, Awam Manch, who has already arrived. There's also smaller parties from Maharashtra. There's Tushar Velampalli from the SNDP in Kerala who has arrived. Before that, Virendra Sachdeva, who's a BJP president of New Delhi, also was seen leaving JP Nadda's residence. Remember, Delhi is where the spotlight is now, because that's where elections are going to happen in about 2 months from now. We are waiting for Chandrababu Naidu to arrive because TDP happens to be the most important constituent of NDA with 16 MPs. Nitish Kumar, the second most important constituent of NDA with 12 MPs, will not be taking part in this. He has excused himself because of his health. There, of course, will be somebody else from JDU who will be arriving here soon. Pratap Rao Jadhav, who is also a minister in the cabinet, he will be taking part in this meeting. He will be representing Shiv Sena because Eknath Shinde, the former chief minister and presently the deputy chief minister of Maharashtra, is not taking part in this. He has also excused himself. He has gone to his native village. So clearly, we are waiting for the more prominent leaders to arrive. Chandrababu Naidu is expected to arrive in a bit from now, and the whole conversation, the agenda is to ensure all the NDA allies are on the same page. Remember, Chandrababu Naidu has given out.
We seem to be having some trouble with Vasudha's line, but we will be going back to her for more details. One nation, one election. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone of the Ken-Betwa river linking project, the first such initiative under the National River Interlinking Policy at Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh. The event coincides with the birth centenary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who envisioned the National River Linking Initiative in 2002. The Rs 44,000 crore project aims to address drought and migration issues in the Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav said nearly 44 lakh people in 10 districts of Madhya Pradesh and 21 lakh in Uttar Pradesh will get drinking water under the project, which is estimated to cost around Rs 44,000 crores. My colleague Anurag is also joining me for more on this. Anurag, take us through the key highlights of this Ken-Betwa river linking project.
Yes, as you said, the foundation of the long-awaited Ken-Betwa river linking national project will be laid down by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a Mela ground in Khajuraho, and the event will start soon. This assumes significance as it happens on the birth centenary of former Prime Minister Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who is accredited with envisioning the national river linking project in 2002. And this is the first river interlinking project under the National Perspective Plan and envisages providing irrigation facilities through the districts of Madhya Pradesh and adjoining Uttar Pradesh Bundelkhand region, as you said, which has long been afflicted with drought and related large-scale migration of population to other parts of the country. Through a pressurized micro-irrigation system under the project, 8.11 lakh hectare area can be irrigated in 2,000 villages of 10 districts of Madhya Pradesh's Bundelkhand and Gwalior-Chambal region, which will benefit around 7 lakh farmers. And this project will also provide an annual irrigation facility in 59,000 hectare area in Uttar Pradesh and stabilization of existing irrigation in a 1.92 lakh hectare area. So these are the main important components of this project, and this project will also provide drinking water facilities to 44 lakh people in Madhya Pradesh and around 21 lakh people in Uttar Pradesh. And this will also enable the generation of 103 megawatt of hydropower and 27 megawatt of solar energy for the for Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh.
Right. Thank you so much, Anurag, for joining us. The Prime Minister will be laying the foundation stone for this key project, which has been the dream project of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, which is now seeing light under the Modi era. And the nation pays tribute to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his 100th birth anniversary. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid floral tribute along with President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar and other ministers following up. As the nation observes Good Governance Day today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also penned a beautiful letter, an article tracing his political journey and contribution to revolutionizing India's infrastructure. He called Atal Bihari Vajpayee the architect of India's transition into the 21st century, adding that he stands tall as a statesman who continues to inspire countless people. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said it was a privilege for BJP workers like him to be able to learn from the stalwart. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also lay the foundation stone of the river linking project, the first such initiative under the National River Interlinking Project. And nearly 44 lakh people in 10 districts of Madhya Pradesh and 21 lakh in Uttar Pradesh will get drinking water under this project. This has been a dream project, and now, as my colleague Anurag was telling us, that this will be given a green light by the Prime Minister today.
श्रद्धेय अटल जी की जन्म शताब्दी वर्ष इस समय सारे देश में मनाई जा रही है। मैं मानता हूं कि भारत के राजनीति के अटल जी एक मनीषी थे और मां भारती के कैसे सच्चे सपूत थे जिन्होंने देश की प्रतिष्ठा, सेवा और विकास के लिए अपना संपूर्ण जीवन ही समर्पित कर दिया था। अटल जी ने केवल अपनी राजनीतिक पार्टी के लोगों का ही सम्मान प्राप्त नहीं किया, बल्कि दूसरे राजनीतिक दलों का भी सम्मान प्राप्त करने में वह पूरी तरह से कामयाब रहे। उनके साथ मेरा व्यक्तिगत रिश्ता रहा है। लंबे समय तक उनके साथ काम करने का मुझे अवसर भी प्राप्त हुआ है।
एक नहीं, दो नहीं करो 20 समझौते ये पाकिस्तान से कहा गया है। एक नहीं, दो नहीं करो 20 समझौते पर स्वतंत्र भारत का मस्तक नहीं झुकेगा। अगणित बलिदानों से अर्जित यह स्वतंत्रता, अगणित बलिदानों से अर्जित यह स्वतंत्रता, सुस्वेद शोणित से सिंचित यह स्वतंत्रता, त्याग तेज तप बल से रक्षित यह स्वतंत्रता, दुखी मनुजता के हित अर्पित यह स्वतंत्रता। इसे मिटाने की साजिश करने वालों से कह दो चिनगारी का खेल बुरा होता है। इसे मिटाने की साजिश करने वालों से कह दो चिनगारी का खेल बुरा होता है। औरों के घर आग लगाने का जो सपना वह अपने ही घर में सदा खड़ा हो। आज सिंधु में ज्वार उठा है, नगपति फिर ललकार उठा है, कुरुक्षेत्र के कण कण से फिर पांचजन्य हुंकार उठा है। शत शत आघातों को सहकर जीवित हिंदुस्तान हमारा, जग के मस्तक पर रोली सा शोभित हिंदुस्तान हमारा। दुनिया का इतिहास पूछता रोम कहाँ, यूनान कहाँ है। दुनिया का इतिहास पूछता रोम कहाँ, यूनान कहाँ है। घर घर में शुभ अग्नि जलाता वह उन्नत ईरान कहाँ है। दीप बुझे पश्चिमी गगन के, व्याप्त हुआ बरबर अंधियारा, किंतु चीर कर दम की छाती चमका हिंदुस्तान हमारा।
जीवन बीत चला, कल कल करते आज हाथ से निकले सारे। कल कल करते आज हाथ से निकले सारे, भूत भविष्यत की चिंता में वर्तमान की बाजी हारे। पहरा कोई काम न आया, रसघट रीत चला, जीवन बीत चला। एक नया भारत कि जिसमें एक नया विश्वास हो, जिसकी आंखों में चमक हो, एक नया उल्लास हो जहां सम्मान हर एक जाति हर एक धर्म का, सब समर्पित हों जिसे, वो लक्ष्य जिसके पास हो। एक नया अभिमान अपने देश पर जन जन में है, एक नया भारत बनाने का इरादा मन में है।
And now Telugu actor Allu Arjun was questioned by Hyderabad police for nearly 4 hours after a stampede at a city theatre this month, killing a 35-year-old woman and left her 8-year-old with life-threatening injuries. Allu Arjun had been summoned by the cops to join the investigation and could be summoned again. He was asked whether he knew that permission had been denied for his visit to the theatre and whether he had been made aware of the stampede outside, among other questions. Meanwhile, a massive political controversy over the case has erupted, with both the BJP and BRS criticizing the Revanth Reddy government of conducting a witch hunt against Telugu superstar, something the Congress government has denied time and again. And my colleague Tanushka is joining me for more on this. Tanushka, take us through the latest of what's happening in the case. Are there any more summons that the police is mulling to issue against Allu Arjun, or the BJP and the BRS trying to amp up their attack against Congress government?
Well, at this point, you know, in the Allu Arjun case, which has anyway been escalating over the past couple of days, ever since the incident happened at the Sandhya Theatre, what we are understanding right now is it's unclear whether the police will summon the Telugu star again or not. I am currently right outside his residence, wherein security has also been beefed up after the Hyderabad court granted bail to 6 people who allegedly attacked and protested and vandalized as well outside Allu Arjun residence. And after these 6 people were granted bail, who were allegedly claimed to be, you know, from the Osmania University Joint Committee, this is what we are understanding. So after that, security has been beefed up at his residence, and we know that yesterday he was also called in for summoning, which went on for around 4 hours. And among the questions that were thrown at the superstar here were, of course, that was he aware that police permission had been denied for this event regarding the promotion of his film? And if so, then how did he, you know, how did the call happen to finally go ahead with the event, promotion event at the theatre? And also, how did it pan out that he interacted with the fans as well when there was no permission for the same? And these are a few questions that were thrown at the superstar yesterday. However, we are yet to, you know, understand whether or not he will be brought in for a second summoning or a second round of questioning. Of course, political, game and tussle has also broken out with respect to this incident as well. The BJP and the BRS are hitting hard against the Congress, and the Chief Minister here has also come out condemning the attack at Allu Arjun's residence, and has also said that this incident is, is also directed to the state DGP as well as the city police commissioner as well to maintain strict law and order situation in the city at this point, especially around his residence, so that such kind of incidents do not happen, and this kind in order to de-escalate the whole matter that is happening at this point and is broiling over as well. At the same time, Allu Arjun's father has also, made a statement of saying that they want to maintain restraint at this point, and they are restraining themselves from reacting to the situation at this point. So these are the latest developments that we have in the case ever since the death of this woman at the Sandhya Theatre in the Stampede, and the life-threatening injuries that inflicted upon her 8-year-old son, who's currently in the hospital undergoing treatment.
Thank you so much, Tanushka, for following us with those details and giving us the latest. Thank you so much. Now, at least 15 people, including women and children, were killed after Pakistan conducted late-night airstrikes on suspected terror targets in neighboring Afghanistan. The Taliban condemned, and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh to inaugurate the Ken-Betwa interlinking project, and currently is holding a road show along with Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister. These are the live visuals coming in. These are the live visuals coming in from Madhya Pradesh. India's first river linking project will be inaugurated by Prime Minister. He will be laying the foundation stone of the Ken-Betwa river interlinking project, which will be a big boost for Madhya Pradesh as well as Uttar Pradesh. To be built at a cost of rupees 44,000 crores. This will be a dream project for the Modi government, as well as it was the dream project of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Now, this project will benefit people in the Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh as well as Uttar Pradesh. Currently, this is the show of strength also for the BJP, the reach and the mobilization of the people who are gathered there to greet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Lots and lots of people are lined up to just take that first glimpse of the Prime Minister. Alongside Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, the Prime Minister is in Madhya Pradesh to give a big boost to the state. Several projects are also lined up to be inaugurated. First, he will lay the foundation stone of Ken-Betwa River project. This is estimated cost of project is 44,000 crores. This is the largest irrigation project in the country, and hence it has more focus of the government and will be a big boost for the government to complete it. Drinking water will be given for 65 lakh families, which will be a big boost ahead of the elections also, as well as for the Modi governance, which has been focused on the vikas of the state and the welfare of the people, which has been the key motto of the Modi government. The Ken-Betwa interlinking project also has some limelights highlighting how it was a dire need of several people living in the region in Madhya Pradesh as well as Uttar Pradesh. My colleague Anurag is also joining me for more on this. Anurag, we are seeing live visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding a roadshow before laying the foundation stone for the key river project.
Yes, the Prime Minister has just entered the Pandal area of the Mela ground in Khajuraho, and Chief Minister Mohan Yadav, as well as State BJP President and Khajuraho MP V.D. Sharma is also with him. Just in few minutes from now, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation of the long-awaited Ken-Betwa river linking national project. This assumes particular significance as it happens on the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Bharat Ratna late Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who is accredited with envisioning the national river linking in 2002. The project also includes the work of saving the historical Chandel era's heritage ponds by repairing, renovating 42 ponds of the Chandel era in Chhatarpur, Tikamgarh and adjoining Niwari districts. Water can be stored during the rainy season, which will benefit the rural areas and increase the groundwater level. And in the first phase, it's 77 meters high and around 2.3 kilometers long. Dodhan Dam and 2 tunnels will be built on the Ken River in Panna Tiger Reserve area, and around 2,853 million cubic meters of water will be stored in that dam. And the Ken River surplus water will be transferred to the Betwa River through the 221 kilometer long canal from the Dodhan Dam on the Ken River, which will consequently address the irrigation and drinking water requirements of the 2 neighboring states, that is Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. The construction of the dam will also bring relief to UP's Banda district from the menace of floods. The northern reservoir will provide drinking water to the wild animals in the Panna Tiger Reserve throughout the year, eventually ushering the unprecedented improvement in the forest ecosystem there. And, this will also provide drinking water to 44 lakh people in Madhya Pradesh and around 21 lakh people in Uttar Pradesh. The project will also enable the generation of 103 megawatt of hydropower and 27 megawatt of solar energy for Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. This will also provide irrigation facilities in Mahoba, Jhansi, Lalitpur and Banda districts of Uttar Pradesh, Bundelkhand region, which is adjoining Madhya Pradesh, and this will provide an annual irrigation facility in 59,000 hectare area in Uttar Pradesh, and through a pressurized micro irrigation system under the project, 8.1 lakh hectare area can be irrigated in 2,000 villages of 10 districts of Bundelkhand and Gwalior Chambal region of Madhya Pradesh, which will benefit around 7 lakh farmers of Gwalior Chambal and Bundelkhand in Madhya Pradesh.
Right, Anurag, but there is also some criticism that is some allegations that are being leveled against BJP and Modi government's dream project, saying that this project will harm the Panna Tiger Reserve, saying that the Congress party is stating that 10% of the Panna Tiger Reserve will submerge if this project comes into place.
Yes, there are two aspects of this, but as I said, apart from giving relief to the farmers and the locals there, because this area is parched. This particular region of Bundelkhand is parched. But this northern reservoir will provide drinking water also to the wild animals in Panna Tiger Reserve throughout the years. And this will also, help the forest ecosystem there in Panna Tiger Reserve.
So, is the government also taking into consideration the environmental impacts that this project will have, Anurag?
Yes, especially Chief Minister Dr. Mohan Yadav has said that they will take care of the forest ecosystem there in Panna Tiger Reserve and adjoining areas. But as I said, we have seen people struggling for drinking water, water for irrigation in these particular areas of Bundelkhand, particularly in Madhya Pradesh and adjoining areas of Uttar Pradesh.
Right. Thank you so much, Anurag, for joining us. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be laying the foundation stone for this key project. The 44,000 crore project aims to address drought and migration issues in the Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh as well as Uttar Pradesh. So, a key project benefiting two states will be inaugurated. The foundation stone will be laid by the Prime Minister today. And with that, we're slipping into a very short break, but more news and updates on the other side continues.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
And the Delhi BJP is now addressing a press conference targeting and countering the claims made by Arvind Kejriwal. Listen.
लाडली बहना योजना से सीखना चाहिए था, आज नहीं। 1,29,00,000 से ज्यादा माताएं बहनें उसकी लाभार्थी हैं। कैसे महिला और बहनों को सम्मान दिया जाता है, ये उनको मध्य प्रदेश से सीखना चाहिए था। अगर दूर नहीं जा सकते तो हरियाणा चले जाते। लाडो लक्ष्मी योजना, वहां से सीख लेते कि कैसे महिलाओं को सम्मान दिया जाता है, कैसे बहनों को सम्मान दिया जाता है। छत्तीसगढ़ चले जाते, महतारी वंदना योजना, कैसे माताओं को और नारी शक्ति को सम्मान दिया जाता है। उड़ीसा चले जाते, सुभद्रा योजना, जहां जहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है वहां वहां महिला सम्मान और बच्चियों के नाम पर इस तरह की योजनाओं को अमली जामा पहनाया गया है, पैसे दिए गए हैं और कानूनी प्रावधान के तहत दिए गए हैं। इस तरह से नहीं दिए गए कि सरकार को विज्ञापन निकालना पड़ता है और बताना पड़ता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अरविंद केजरीवाल 12 साल से दिल्ली की जनता को, 2013 में ये सरकार आई थी, तब से लेकर अब तक टुकड़ों में इसको दिल्ली को जनता को ठगने का काम कर रहे हैं। और अब जब रवानगी तय है, दिल्ली की जनता मन बना चुकी है कि हमें आपसे मुक्ति चाहिए, तो जाते जाते भी आप दिल्ली की जनता का जेब और गला काटना चाहते हैं। संजीवनी, आप आयुष्मान योजना क्यों नहीं लागू करते? अरविंद केजरीवाल, मैं पूछता हूं तुमसे, आप अरविंद केजरीवाल द्वारा आयुष्मान योजना रोके जाना सिर्फ ईगो की प्रॉब्लम है, अहंकार। नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री की कोई योजना दिल्ली में लागू नहीं करेंगे, चाहे मुझे कुछ भी करना पड़े। आयुष्मान योजना लागू होती, केंद्र सरकार का पैसा आता है, दिल्ली के कल्याण में लगता है। आप जो योजना कह भी रहे हो, मुझे पता नहीं, बजट के लिए विजेंद्र जी बताएंगे कि बजट का प्रावधान है कि नहीं, लेकिन अगर होता भी तो वो दिल्ली की सड़कों पे लगता, दिल्ली के विकास पे लगता। लेकिन क्यों? क्योंकि वो अरविंद केजरीवाल की योजना नहीं लेनी है, क्योंकि वो प्रधानमंत्री की योजना है। अपने अहंकार और अपनी ईगो की वजह से आप दिल्ली की जनता का सत्यानाश कर रहे हैं। और जिस तरह से आपने लोगों को ठगने का काम किया है, ये सीधा सीधा ये दिखाता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी और दिल्ली की सरकार में सब ठीक नहीं है। चस्का तो महल का है, चस्का महल का है। अरविंद केजरीवाल कहते हैं कि मैं ये करूंगा, सरकार कहती है ना, दिल्ली की सरकार, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार, आतिशी मार लेना की सरकार, ना, ऐसा नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा। और फिर खुद अरविंद केजरीवाल कहते हैं अगर ये नहीं होगा तो फिर तुम जेल जाओगी। आखिर अरविंद केजरीवाल के पास ऐसा कौन?
And we have some breaking news coming in. A passenger plane has crashed near Kazakhstan. This is the information that we are getting, and the visuals are horrifying to see. Passenger plane has crashed near Kazakhstan. These are the information, and this is the information that we are getting. The plane was requested emergency landing, but before that it crashed near Kazakhstan. There are passengers on board the plane which has crashed near Kazakhstan. The plane has crashed near Aktau, and after crashing the plane burst into a ball of fire. The information that we are getting for now is that the plane requested emergency landing, but before that it crashed near Kazakhstan. These are the latest developments that we are getting into the story. The plane crashed, a passenger plane has crashed near the city of Aktau in Kazakhstan. This is a big plane mishap in Kazakhstan as we are reporting live. The information that we are tracking here right now is that the plane requested emergency landing and then crashed. The visuals that we are trying to collect from various sources indicate how after crashing the plane burst into a ball of fire. These are the latest inputs that we are getting. A passenger plane crashed and Azerbaijan Airlines plane has crashed near Kazakhstan. It was the Azerbaijani plane. A passenger plane crashed, and initial reports suggested that there were survivors. This is the information that we are getting from the Central Asian countries, the Emergencies Ministry, that has put out a statement saying that passenger plane has crashed in Kazakhstan. This is the Emergencies Ministry that is putting out the statement saying a passenger plane crashed near the city of Aktau in Kazakhstan. These are the visuals that we are sourcing, and on your screen you can see the impact after a passenger plane crashed near Kazakhstan. The ministry said emergency services were trying to put out a fire at the crash site. There might be some survivors. It is what we are learning from our sources. Russian news agencies have said that the plane was operated by, there you can see on your screen how after the crash huge fumes of smoke came out, and the Russian news agencies, I quote, are saying the plane was operated by Azerbaijan Airlines and had been flying from Baku to Grozny in Russia, but had been rerouted due to fog in Grozny. After this, the plane requested emergency landing. As per our details, initial reports, it suggested it needs to immediately land, but before that it crashed, and on your screen is the horrifying visual. A passenger plane has crashed near Kazakhstan. This is the latest input that we are getting on it. There was no immediate comment from any airlines or the ministries that we have that we can quote for now, but the plane can be seen bursting into a ball of fire after crashing near Kazakhstan. These are some pictures that we have sourced. We can't confirm the authenticity, but this is what the initial reports are suggesting, that a passenger plane has crashed near Kazakhstan. There are likely to be over 100 passengers on board with crew members. Now, if there are any reports of survivors, we are tracking all these details. We are trying to look out and contact the requested authorities. We have requested authorities for a comment. We are still waiting, but so far the initial reports are suggesting that there are at least over 100 passengers on board that flight that has just crashed near Kazakhstan. This is a visual of an eyewitness who is capturing the accident, the mishap, a big mishap in Kazakhstan that has taken place. At least 100 or over 100 passengers can be on that flight. Reuters and other news agencies are also putting out information in regards to this Kazakhstan plane tragedy. We are yet to confirm from our sources. These are the visuals that we can track. The plane requested emergency landing and then it crashed near Kazakhstan. This is a passenger plane. The passenger plane is operated by Azerbaijan Airlines. It had been flying from Baku to Grozny in Russia, but due to the weather conditions, these are the initial reports that we are getting, that due to weather conditions, it had to be rerouted to another place. But unfortunately, it met with this fate that it crashed, and then this huge ball of fire is what one eyewitness over there near Kazakhstan had recorded and has put out. These are the visuals that we have on the screen. This is the latest input that we are getting, that a passenger plane has crashed near the city of Aktau in Kazakhstan, and initial reports suggest that there can be survivors. This is an important, positive ray of hope. Whether there is a rescue operation in place or not, we are yet to get the details. My colleague Vishal is also joining me. Vishal, tell us, what do you know more about this passenger plane crashing near Kazakhstan?
So the details are still coming in, but at the moment there seems to be that there were more than 100 people on board. That's what the Kazakh media is saying at the moment. And as you've been mentioning, that the plane was traveling from Baku to Grozny. So Grozny is located in offshoot region of Russia. It's called Chechnya. It's one of the main cities in Chechnya. So the plane was trying to make an emergency landing while this happened. It had requested for emergency landing when this unfortunate crash happened, and there seems to be total destruction of the plane, because the visuals show that the plane has exploded into a ball of fire, but the details are still scant at the moment. We have only received inputs that about 100 people, more than 100 people were there on board. So it remains to be seen as to what kind of damage has been done, what's the casualty. All the numbers will start coming in, but at the moment it seems to be a big tragedy right on Christmas Day.
Absolutely unfortunate news coming on it. Vishal, if you can tell us more, looking at the way it has exploded, do we still have chances of any survivors being there, any rescue operation being launched? Which are the authorities that will be deployed in the rescue operation if it's launched or if it has been launched?
So air travel is the safest form of travel at the moment statistically, but whenever these accidents, these crashes happen, they generally result in a big tragedy. Almost all the people get killed, unfortunately. But in this instance, it's still early moments. It's hard to say as to what exactly happened, but the plane has exploded because there was a huge ball of fire when the plane landed, tried to make a landing. So it seemed to be making a steady descent into the runway, but suddenly exploded, suddenly made a change in direction and then exploded. So the details will be available to us in the next half hour or so, but at the moment it seems to be that a big tragedy has struck, and more than 100 people could have been feared killed.
Right, Vishal, as per the initial reports, we are also getting the information that 72 people were on board this passenger plane when it exploded. There is a twin engine, Brazilian manufactured jetliner which is involved in this incident. Can you take us through more details about when are we trying to get any response from the authorities?
So yeah, there seems to be actually more than 100 people on board. It remains to be seen whether or not there were Indians on board, because the plane was traveling from Baku. Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan, and Azerbaijan is a very popular destination, tourist destination, because it's cheap to travel and it's also quite beautiful, the country. So there could be a chance that there are Indians on board, but as of now there is no confirmation on that about the nationalities of the passengers involved. But there were more than 100 people on board, so it was not a big plane, but it was large enough to carry 100 people. So it remains to be seen what happened to the crew, what happened to the passengers. But at the outset, at this moment it doesn't look good because as soon as the plane tried to land, it exploded into a huge ball of fire, and that's never really a good sign. That almost always results in tragedies and almost always results
Right,
in
Vishal, we
almost all the
have
people.
on the screen another set of visual which is more devastating and disheartening to see. I think this is post the fire. We can see how the plane is divided into two parts after the crash. There are also reports that suggest that the airlines was asking for emergency landing, but was denied, after which it suddenly just collapsed. And after this crash, there is just hope, and we can only hope that the passengers, maybe there are some survivors who are safe or maybe not very critically injured in this tragedy. Vishal, we are also hearing that the number of passengers who were there were crew members and there were passengers involved. The plane was originally, scheduled to some other location, but the weather condition played a spoil sport.
Yes, that is what we've been hearing. Initial reports suggest that the plane was on its way to Kazakhstan, but it had to be diverted towards Chechnya, Grozny. So Chechnya is the offshoot autonomous region inside Russia. So it's governed by separate people, but it's also in Russia. So that remains to be seen what kind of authorities are involved in this, because multiple nations will have to be involved, and as of now, more than 100 people seem to have been involved, seem to be on board the plane. So the status of all those people is still, still remains to be seen. And at this moment, we just know that the plane was traveling from Baku. Baku, as we have been mentioning, that is a popular tourist destination, and lakhs of people travel to Baku each year. So there could be many tourists involved. There could be many people who would have gone there to meet their families. So all of that details are still to come. At this moment, we just know that the plane has crashed in Russian territory, an offshoot Russian territory of Chechnya. At the moment, as you mentioned, the plane was, it's almost split into two parts. So you can see the scale of the damage. There would be visuals that would show that the plane has almost, it's almost vanished from the surface. And so all of that will come into picture when the investigation is done and when we know more details. But at this moment, more than 100 people could have been feared killed on the Christmas Day. So at this moment, we know that the plane traveling from Baku had to be, was making an emergency landing on the Russian territory, on an offshoot Russian territory, on autonomous Russian territory of Chechnya, but that was not successful. The crew of the plane had requested an emergency landing due to some changes in the weather pattern. So that was not successful. The plane originally seemed to be on a steady path as it made its descent to the airport, but suddenly you can see that the plane landed and it's exploded into a huge ball of fire. And that's never a good scene. That's almost always results in tragedy, and almost all the people sadly get killed in these scenarios, because although statistically air travel is the safest form of travel, but whenever these tragedies occur, almost all the people get killed. So the details are scant at the moment, but as of now, we know that more than 100 people were on board, and the visuals are quite gory, and the plane has been split into various parts, and all of that will come into picture when the initial investigation is done. At this moment, it's very hard to say what kind of damage has been done, but it's almost certain that...
that's coming in at the moment, Vishal, can you confirm to us?
Can you repeat that?
Yes, any reports of survivors there?
Personally, I haven't seen any reports of survivors there, because the scale of damage is pretty high. The plane has been split into various parts, and you can see the visuals from far away that the plane had exploded as it tried to make that emergency landing. So the reports of survivors we are yet to receive, but at this moment it seems to be that a big tragedy has struck Russia and the offshoot region of Russia.
So Kazakhstan's Ministry of Emergency Situation has confirmed that a fire broke out at the crash site. Well, the plane was originally scheduled to land in Grozny, but it was redirected to Aktau, as per the information that's coming in, Vishal. Well, that's the latest that we are getting at the moment. Can you give us in detail, help us understand what really happened there when the plane took off till the time it, this unfortunate accident happened? What all transpired there?
So the plane was traveling from Baku, but it had to be diverted and it landed in Chechnya, as you mentioned. But it was originally scheduled to travel to a different destination. So all of that will come into picture when the initial investigation, the report comes in. As of now, as I mentioned, the details are quite few. It's still unfolding, but we can confirm that there are more than 100 people on board, and there could be various nationalities involved, because we've been reporting that Baku is a very popular tourist destination. So lakhs of people travel to that country each year.
Okay, well, yes, that's an important point that you've made there. Baku is definitely a very popular destination for tourist destination for Indians also now. But at this moment, we believe we can't confirm whether there were any Indians who were traveling from Baku to Grozny in this plane. But at the moment, the information that's coming out, Vishal, is that there could be about 100 people. As you've been saying, 100 passengers on that plane. That includes crew members. How many crew members? Any information on that?
So it's a relatively small plane, so there would be about 4 to 5 crew members. And as you mentioned, totally more than 100 people were present on the plane. And as it made its tried to make its proper descent on the runway, it's failed. But it had contacted the airport authorities to make that emergency landing, because there had been some sudden change in the weather pattern. It had to change its route. The original destination was, as you mentioned, Chechnya, but it landed somewhere else, and all of that has resulted in a big tragedy. The reports are still coming in. The details are quite few, as I've been mentioning, so we'll get you the latest when they come.
All right, well, that's the big breaking news now coming in at the moment. This plane, the aircraft operated by Azerbaijan Airlines, went down near the Kazakh city of Aktau. As per the reports that are coming in, well, the plane was carrying about 100 passengers, and this is an unfortunate bit of news that's coming in. We do believe there could be some survivors. However, there is no official confirmation about that. But yes, Kazakhstan Ministry of Emergency Situation has confirmed that a fire indeed broke out at the crash site. This plane was scheduled to land in Grozny, but it did ask for an emergency landing also. There was a request made, but before that could happen, well, this plane crashed near Aktau. That's the latest information that we are getting. We'll try and get more details about that in just a bit from now. Meanwhile, we are shifting our focus now to some more news that we are tracking. Shocking report coming in from Chennai, where an engineering student was sexually assaulted inside one of the most prestigious universities in Chennai. That's the Anna University. Well, the second-year engineering student was sexually assaulted and her male friend was beaten up. Police are on the hunt for 2 suspects. We'll try and get more details about this in just a bit. Meanwhile, that's the latest that's coming in. We are learning as per the latest information that we are getting. This incident has taken place at the Chennai campus. Shocking report that's coming in from Chennai. An engineering student was sexually assaulted inside the Anna University campus. This is a second-year engineering student that we're talking about, and the student was sexually assaulted also. The student's male friend was beaten up by people there. Well, what we are learning at the moment is that the police is looking for 2 suspects in the case. However, we'll try and get more details about this. My colleague Sam also now joins us on the broadcast. Yes, Sam, what more do we know about this case? Sam, if you're able to hear my voice, what more details can you give us about this case?
Well, Aditi, this has allegedly happened on the 23rd of this month, the day before yesterday, and a complaint was received yesterday. The student, a woman student studying at the Anna University, has alleged that this happened around 7:30 evening that day when she and her male friend were on campus talking. A two-member group attacked her male friend and dragged her into a bush, and she was sexually assaulted. As we speak, investigation is underway. Inquiry is on with both people on the campus and other suspects as well. There's no clarity whether the alleged perpetrators are insiders or somebody from outside. Police are also screening the CCTV footages. A case of sexual assault has been registered now. And this campus, one of the prestigious universities in Tamil Nadu, in the heart of Chennai, this kind of an assault happening has raised concern. Already, leader of opposition, Edappadi Palaniswamy, has said this is a clear sign of deterioration of law and order, as he calls it, and has urged for the immediate arrest of the perpetrators. BJP chief Annamalai too has called this shocking, and they have said there is no sense of fear among antisocial elements, either towards law or for the police. And it's a kind of a dark period, he said. Police say they are investigating, and by this evening we expect some kind of a breakthrough.
Okay, all right. Well, the opposition has latched onto the issue and has targeted the Tamil Nadu government, alleging that law and order has worsened in Chennai. We have reactions coming in. BJP spokesperson and Tamil Nadu BJP Vice President Narayan Tirupati. Listening.
The capital of Tamil Nadu, headquarters of Tamil Nadu, is becoming a lawless city. This government has got no control on law and order. We strongly condemn this. This is really shocking. A girl has been gang raped, that too in Chennai. Can't believe it. That is the state of law and order. This government has got no excuse to say anything on this. Shame on this government, shame on the chief minister, shame on the departments. How dare this can happen in Chennai? BJP strongly condemn this. Whoever has done this should be immediately arrested and justice to be done.
Big breaking news that we are getting. The plane that with 73 people on board that had been making an attempt to reach Grozny in Russia has crashed. Well, 73 people were on board on this plane. Well, the crash took place after the emergency landing attempt was made. Well, the flight had taken off from Baku and was moving towards Grozny in Russia. However, the details that are coming in, as per that we are learning, the crash has taken place near the Kazakh city of Aktau. We'll try and get more details about it. Meanwhile, those are latest visuals that have come in at the moment with the information also that's pouring in. As per that, we are learning that there were about 73 people on board the plane when it crashed. Well, also as per information that we are learning of, the plane had tried to make an emergency landing but was unsuccessful in doing so, and after which it was seen crashing near the Kazakh city of Aktau. That's the location where the plane had crashed. It's an Azerbaijan Airways plane that has crashed here. Well, as per latest details that are coming in, it's an E-190 aircraft. It usually carries between 96 to 114 passengers. At this point in time, we are learning that there were 73 passengers on board this plane. That also includes 4 to 5 crew members. Well, this aircraft that's operated by Azerbaijan Airlines went down near the Kazakh city of Aktau as per latest details. Well, reports also indicate that there could be survivors on this plane. Kazakhstan Ministry of Emergency Situation has confirmed that a fire broke out at the crash site. The plane was scheduled to land in Grozny in Russia, but it was redirected first to Makhachkala and then it was redirected again to Aktau, as per the Grozny airport press office. Well, Russian media is also reporting that the crash plane was an Embraer E-190AR. Before the crash, the aircraft had circled over Aktau airport and requested an emergency landing also. Well, my colleague Vishal joining us on the broadcast here. Vishal, any more information that we are learning of about this unfortunate crash?
this moment, there are various reports coming in. Some say that there were at least 100 people on board. Others say that there were about 70 people on board. So these are initial minutes, initial hours. So we'll have to wait for a few moments to know the exact details. As far as the reports are concerned, as I mentioned, there are various reports coming in, and they've been saying different things. But it's been confirmed that it was an airline operated by Azerbaijan Airlines, and it was traveling from Baku to Grozny originally, but it had to be diverted, as you mentioned, to a different location called Aktau inside Kazakhstan. So these are all neighboring countries near Russia. So that is why the diversion took place. So it remains to be seen why exactly the diversion took place. Initial
There
reports.
are reports also that say that this plane that was en route from Baku to Grozny in Russia was redirected because of fog in Grozny.
Yes, that seems to be what the initial reports are suggesting. Even if the diversion took place and the plane requested an emergency landing, so what exactly went wrong with the plane that it could not land in a place that did not really have fog? As far as the initial visuals on the screen, there doesn't seem to be any fog when the plane tries to make that emergency landing. So what exactly caused the crash? That will be a long-term investigation, because as you mentioned, it seemed to be a routine diversion, nothing untoward about it. But in the end, it has resulted in deaths of at least dozens of people. So far, no official confirmation from the authorities, but it doesn't seem good at the moment, because as I've been mentioning, air travel is the safest form of travel statistically, but whenever these tragedies happen, almost everyone on board gets killed. In this instance, there were anywhere between 70 to 100 people, and there could be Indians also involved, although Indians traveling to Chechnya doesn't seem likely, but Baku is a really popular destination, so that could be one of the factors that Indian could also be on board.
Okay, well, Kazakhstan authorities have commented. They've reacted saying that the fire broke out at the crash site. Russian media is also reporting that the crashed plane was an Embraer E-190AR. And before the crash, the aircraft was seen circling over Aktau airport. It had requested an emergency landing also, but all those attempts that were being made at that point in time clearly failed. All right, so any information, what could have, could have gone wrong? What are the possibilities? I mean, when the plane took off from Baku, things were probably all right. Did anything go wrong, or anything that we are learning of? What could have gone wrong?
So that all depends on the investigation. At this moment, it's hard to say what exactly went wrong, because as the visuals suggest, the plane seemed to be making a normal descent to the runway, but as the runway approached, it suddenly exploded into a ball of fire, and that's never a good sight. Whenever that occurs.
But Vishal, you know, important to note here is that it was redirected twice. The plane was supposed to go to Grozny, but there was, all right, I'm being told that my colleague Vishnu Shom also is now joining us with more details here. Vishnu, what more details do we have about this crash?
The aircraft in concern was an Embraer E-190. This is a Brazilian aircraft. Azerbaijan Airlines is a very major carrier in Central Asia. I've gone through the flight radar tracking of this particular aircraft. It was on a flight from Baku to Grozny when it went down. And in a place called Aktau, or near Aktau, it had reportedly made an emergency, made a distress call indicating that it wanted to make an emergency landing. The last few moments of this crash, ahead of this attempted landing, are there on flight radar. I've actually gone through this. There were 67 people on board, 5 crew members. There are survivors. There is some preliminary video that you should have up on your screens, which indicates the presence of survivors as well. The Ministry of Emergency Situations in Kazakhstan has confirmed that they are on the ground and looking to deal with this situation. The aircraft did circle over Aktau airport. As I mentioned, it was on a flight from Baku to Grozny. But it circled over Aktau airport, indicating that it wanted to make an emergency landing. Unfortunately, that emergency landing didn't go off well. There would be a significant number of fatalities in this crash. There are, however, some survivors. One word about the aircraft. The Embraer E190 is a relatively new aircraft, quite new. It is a new generation of aircraft manufactured by the Brazilian company Embraer. It is extremely reliable, and this would perhaps be the first incident involving an E190 aircraft. We will just get more facts on that. But the video that you see actually shows the aircraft in a sharp bank. Moments before it crashes, the pilot does attempt to pull up. It's too early to say what exactly went on. Was there a technical error? Was it something else? Was there a hijacking? It's too early, and we don't want to speculate on this. But all options are out there on the table right now. A very unfortunate crash resulting in a significant number of casualties on this Azerbaijan Airways aircraft. Kitty.
Okay, when the flight took off from Baku, we do not have any official information, of course, but things were probably all right. But we do understand that the flight had to be redirected twice, Vishnu. Before, it was supposed to make a landing at Grozny, but it was redirected twice. As per information that's coming in, we do understand first it was redirected to Makhachkala and then to Aktau.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we know so far. About Azerbaijan Airways itself, it's a major carrier. As I mentioned, they fly several international routes. They operate a series of modern aircraft, this being an extremely modern aircraft. I just want to put it out on the table that this was a new aircraft which was operating on this particular sector. There was a distress call which was received. There were, as you correctly mentioned, a previous attempt to redirect the flight from the flight from Baku to Grozny to a place called Makhachkala. It was then rediverted to Aktau. Flight Radar 24, the popular app, actually picks up the track of this aircraft moments before it attempted that landing near Aktau. It had requested that landing from the Flight Radar track. I can show the aircraft descending sharply and at considerable speed. It does appear to make a couple of circles above the airport or in the vicinity of the airport, but then, it sort of plummets down as the video shows. Moments before that, you can see the pilot try to perhaps pull up, but unfortunately, the impact is significant. But miraculously, there are survivors over here. We do not know how many have survived and how many have perished.
All right, Vishnu, thank you so much for getting us all those details there. We'll keep an eye on the developments coming in. Meanwhile, Russian media has reported that the crashed plane was an Embraer E190AR. Before the crash, the aircraft also circled over Aktau airport and had requested for an emergency landing, but that clearly failed to happen. Well, also, there are reports, Russian news agencies are reporting that the Azerbaijan Airlines plane was en route from Baku to Grozny in Russia's Chechnya, but was redirected due to fog in Grozny. Well, what really happened there? What went wrong? We're trying to get more details about that. There is no official confirmation about what had gone wrong on that flight, but we do understand there were more than 60 people on board. That is what we are learning of at the moment. We'll keep an eye on the details. Yeah. Well, with that, it's time for a short break. Yeah, more continues on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture, and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation. Production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting.
मध्य प्रदेश के गवर्नर श्रीमान मंगूभाई पटेल, यहाँ के कर्मठ मुख्यमंत्री भाई मोहन यादव जी, केंद्रीय मंत्री भाई शिवराज सिंह जी, वीरेंद्र कुमार जी, सीआर पाटिल जी, डिप्टी सीएम जगदीश देवड़ा जी, राजेंद्र शुक्ला जी, अन्य मंत्रीगण, सांसदगण, विधायकगण, अन्य सभी महानुभाव, पूज्य संतगण और मध्य प्रदेश के मेरे प्यारे भाई और बहनों, आज पूरे विश्व में क्रिसमस की धूम है। मैं देश और दुनिया भर में उपस्थित ईसाई समुदाय को क्रिसमस की ढेर सारी बधाई देता हूं। मोहन यादव जी के नेतृत्व में बनी भाजपा सरकार का 1 साल पूरा हुआ है। मध्य प्रदेश के लोगों को, भाजपा के कार्यकर्ताओं को मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। इस 1 वर्ष में एमपी में विकास को एक नई गति मिली है। आज भी यहां हजारों करोड़ रुपए की विकास परियोजनाओं की शुरुआत हुई है। आज ऐतिहासिक केन-बेतवा लिंक परियोजना का, दौधन बांध का शिलान्यास भी हुआ है। ओमकारेश्वर फ्लोटिंग सोलर प्लांट, उसका भी लोकार्पण हुआ है। और ये मध्य प्रदेश का पहला फ्लोटिंग प्लान है। मैं इन परियोजनाओं के लिए एमपी के लोगों को ढेर सारी बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, आज हम सभी के लिए बहुत ही प्रेरणादायी दिन है। आज श्रद्धेय अटल जी की जन्म जयंती है। आज भारत रत्न अटल जी के जन्म के 100 साल हो रहे हैं। अटल जी की जयंती का ये पर्व सुशासन की, सुसेवा की हमारी प्रेरणा का भी पर्व है। थोड़ी देर पहले जब मैं अटल जी की स्मृति में डाक टिकट और स्मारक सिक्का जारी कर रहा था तो अनेक पुरानी बातें मन में चल रही थी। बरसों बरसों तक उन्होंने मुझ जैसे अनेक कार्यकर्ताओं को सिखाया है, संस्कारित किया है। देश के विकास में अटल जी का योगदान हमेशा हमारे स्मृति पटल पर अमिट रहेगा। मध्य प्रदेश में 1100 से अधिक अटल ग्राम सेवा सदन के निर्माण का काम आज से शुरू हो रहा है। इसके लिए पहली किस्त भी जारी की गई है। अटल ग्राम सेवा सदन गांवों के विकास को नई गति देंगे। साथियों, हमारे लिए सुशासन दिवस सिर्फ एक दिन का कार्यक्रम भर नहीं है। गुड गवर्नेंस, सुशासन भाजपा सरकारों की पहचान है। देश की जनता ने लगातार तीसरी बार केंद्र में भाजपा की सरकार बनाई। मध्य प्रदेश में आप सभी लगातार भाजपा को चुन रहे हैं। इसके पीछे सुशासन का भरोसा ही सबसे प्रबल है। और मैं तो जो विद्वान लोग हैं, जो लिखा पट्टी एनालिसिस करने में माहिर है, ऐसे देश के गणमान्य लोगों से आग्रह करूंगा कि जब आजादी के 75 साल हो चुके हैं तो एक बार इवैल्यूएशन किया जाए। 100-200 विकास के, जनहित के, गुड गवर्नेंस के पैरामीटर निकाले जाएं और फिर जरा हिसाब लगाएं कि कांग्रेस सरकारें जहां होती हैं वहां क्या काम होता है, क्या परिणाम होता है। जहां लेफ्ट वालों ने सरकार चलाई, कम्युनिस्टों ने सरकार चलाई, वहां क्या हुआ। जहां परिवारवादी पार्टियों ने सरकार चलाई, वहां क्या हुआ। जहां मिलीजुली सरकारें चली, वहां क्या हुआ। और जहां जहां भाजपा को सरकार चलाने का मौका मिला, वहां क्या हुआ। मैं दावे से कहता हूं, देश में जब जब भाजपा को जहां जहां भी सेवा करने का अवसर मिला है, हमने पुराने सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ के जनहित के, जन कल्याण के और विकास के कामों में सफलता पाई है। निश्चित मानदंडों पर मूल्यांकन हो जाए, देश देखेगा कि हम जन सामान्य के प्रति कितने समर्पित है। आजादी के दीवानों ने जो सपने देखे थे, उन सपनों को साकार करने के लिए हम दिन रात पसीना बहाते हैं। जिन्होंने देश के लिए खून बहाया, उनका रक्त बेकार न जाए, हम अपने पसीने से उनके सपनों को सींच रहे हैं। और सुशासन के लिए अच्छी योजनाओं के साथ ही उन्हें अच्छी तरह लागू करना भी जरूरी है। सरकार की योजनाओं का लाभ कितना पहुंचा, ये सुशासन का पैमाना होता है। अतीत में कांग्रेस सरकारें घोषणाएं करने में माहिर हुआ करती थी। घोषणाएं करना, फीता काटना, दिया जलाना, अखबार में तस्वीर छपवा देना, उनका काम वहीं पूरा हो जाता था।
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
सरकारें रही। कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट पर अपना जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार समझती है, लेकिन गवर्नेंस का उससे 36 का नाता रहा है। जहां कांग्रेस, वहां गवर्नेंस हो ही नहीं सकती। इसका बहुत बड़ा खामियाजा दशकों तक यहां बुंदेलखंड के लोगों ने भी भुगता है। पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी यहां के किसानों, यहां की माताओं बहनों ने बूंद बूंद पानी के लिए संघर्ष किया। ये हालात क्यों बने? क्योंकि कांग्रेस ने कभी जल संकट के स्थायी समाधान के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं। साथियों, भारत के लिए नदी जल का महत्व क्या है, इसको समझने वाले पहले लोगों में, और आपको भी जब बताऊं तो आश्चर्य होगा, यहां किसी को भी पूछ लीजिए, हिंदुस्तान में किसी को पूछ लीजिए कि देश आजाद होने के बाद सबसे पहले जल शक्ति, पानी का सामर्थ्य, पानी के लिए दूरंदर्शी आयोजन, इसके विषय में किसने सोचा था, किसने काम किया था? यहां मेरे पत्रकार बंधु भी जवाब नहीं दे पाएंगे। क्यों? जो सच्चाई है उसको दबा के रखा गया, उसे छिपा करके रखा गया, और एक ही व्यक्ति को क्रेडिट देने के नशे में सच्चे सेवक को भुला दिया गया। और अब मैं बताता हूं, देश आजाद होने के बाद भारत की जल शक्ति, भारत के जल संसाधन, भारत में पानी के लिए बांधों की रचना, इन सब की दूरदृष्टि किसी एक महापुरुष को क्रेडिट जाती है तो उस महापुरुष का नाम है बाबा साहब आंबेडकर। भारत में जो बड़ी नदी घाटी परियोजनाएं बनी, इन परियोजनाओं के पीछे डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आंबेडकर का ही विजन था। आज जो केंद्रीय जल आयोग है, इसके पीछे भी डॉक्टर आंबेडकर के ही प्रयास थे। लेकिन कांग्रेस ने कभी जल संरक्षण से जुड़े प्रयासों के लिए, बड़े बांधों के लिए बाबा साहब को श्रेय नहीं दिया, किसी को पता तक नहीं चलने दिया। कांग्रेस इसके प्रति कभी भी गंभीर नहीं रही। आज 7 दशक बाद भी देश के अनेक राज्यों के बीच पानी को लेकर कुछ न कुछ विवाद है। जब पंचायत से पार्लियामेंट तक कांग्रेस का ही शासन था, तब ये विवाद आसानी से सुलझ सकते थे। लेकिन कांग्रेस की नीयत खराब थी, इसलिए उसने कभी भी ठोस प्रयास नहीं किए। साथियों, जब देश में अटल जी की सरकार बनी तो उन्होंने पानी से जुड़ी चुनौतियों को हल करने के लिए गंभीरता से काम शुरू किया था। लेकिन 2004 के बाद उनके प्रयासों को भी जैसी अटल जी की सरकार गई, वो सारी योजनाएं, सारे सपने ये कांग्रेस वालों ने आते ही ठंडे बस्ते में डाल दिया। आज हमारी सरकार देश भर में नदियों को जोड़ने के अभियान को गति दे रही है। केन-बेतवा लिंक प्रोजेक्ट का सपना भी अब साकार होने वाला है। केन-बेतवा लिंक प्रोजेक्ट से बुंदेलखंड क्षेत्र में समृद्धि और खुशहाली के नए द्वार खुलेंगे। छतरपुर, टीकमगढ़, निवाड़ी, पन्ना, दमोह और सागर सहित मध्य प्रदेश के 10 जिलों को सिंचाई सुविधा का लाभ मिलेगा। अभी मैं मंच पे आ रहा था, मुझे यहाँ के अलग अलग जिलों के किसानों से मिलने का मौका मिला। मैं उनकी खुशी देख रहा था, उनके चेहरों पे आनंद देख रहा था। उनको लगता था कि हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ियों का जीवन बन गया। साथियों, उत्तर प्रदेश में जो बुंदेलखंड का हिस्सा है, उसके भी बांदा, महोबा, ललितपुर और झांसी जिलों को फायदा होने वाला है। साथियों, मध्य प्रदेश देश का पहला राज्य बना है जहां नदियों को जोड़ने के महाअभियान के तहत 2 परियोजनाएं शुरू हो गई है। कुछ दिन पहले ही मैं राजस्थान में था। मोहन जी ने उसका विस्तार से वर्णन किया। वहां पार्वती, काली सिंह, चंबल और केन-बेतवा लिंक परियोजनाओं के माध्यम से कई नदियों का जुड़ना तय हुआ है। इस समझौते का बड़ा लाभ मध्य प्रदेश को भी होने जा रहा है। साथियों, 21वीं सदी की सबसे बड़ी चुनौतियों में से एक है जल सुरक्षा। 21वीं सदी में वही देश आगे बढ़ पाएगा, वही क्षेत्र आगे बढ़ पाएगा जिसके पास पर्याप्त जल होगा और उचित जल प्रबंधन होगा।
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Students sexually assaulted at Chennai's Anna University on-campus shocker at prestigious university. In a significant order, this SC has restrained the ED from accessing and copying content from e-devices seized during searches conducted on Lottery King Santiago Martin. It's Delhi Department versus Aam Aadmi Party on 2 schemes. Delhi Department says Mahila Samman scheme and Sanjeevani scheme are non-existent. AAP says the departments have been pressurized. PM Modi lays foundation stone of Ken-Betwa river linking national project in Madhya Pradesh.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora, we cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, Your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith. The world's biggest spiritual festival. The divine dip at the spiritual Sangam. A sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith. The world's biggest spiritual festival. The divine dip at the spiritual Sangam. A sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism.
Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Ankit Tyagi. Let's quickly take a look at the headlines we're tracking at 2 p.m. Passenger plane with nearly 70 people on board crashes in Kazakhstan. Plane burst into flames after the crash. The airplane had requested for emergency landing. Reports indicate at least 25 survivors. There is huge protest at the Anna University in Chennai alleging sexual assault on campus at this prestigious university. Prime Minister Modi lays foundation stone for Ken-Betwa River linking national project in Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister's attack on Congress on Ambedkar controversy, says Congress governments never credited Ambedkar. NDA in a huddle at BJP Chief JP Nadda's office. Better coordination between NDA partners and discussions on Ambedkar controversy on the agenda. It's Delhi government departments versus the Aam Aadmi Party on two schemes. Delhi government department says Mahila Samman scheme and Sanjeevani are non-existent. AAP says departments pressured. Schemes will be fulfilled post polls. In a significant order, Supreme Court restrains the Enforcement Directorate from accessing and copying content from electronic devices seized during searches conducted on Lottery King Santiago Martin, his relatives and employees in November. Ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly go across to this story that we have been continuously tracking here on NDTV. A passenger plane from Azerbaijan Airlines burst into flames after crashing near the Aktau city of Kazakhstan. Reuters has reported and has said that this has in fact been confirmed by the emergency ministry of the country. The plane was en route from Azerbaijan's capital Baku to Grozny in Russia's Chechnya, but was rerouted due to fog at the destination. A video showed the aircraft rapidly losing altitude and started banking to its right. It crashed into an open field and burst into flames. Reports also indicate that there are at least 25 survivors as far as this plane is concerned. Let me bring in at this moment Christina Malik. She's the correspondent for Sputnik, that's the news agency in Russia. Thank you, Christina, for joining us with details on this story. At this moment, what are the rescuers telling you? How many people have been rescued and what's the situation on the ground?
Hello. As far as we know, that an Azerbaijan Airlines plane flying from Baku to Grozny crashed in Kazakhstan. There were 62 passengers and 5 crew members on board. Among them was 16 Russian citizens and 37 Azerbaijani citizens, and as well as 6 Kazakhs and 3 Kyrgyz citizens. As far as we know, 27 survivors were taken to hospitals after the plane crash in Kazakhstan. That's the information we got from the Ministry of Emergency Situations of Kazakhstan. As far as we know as well, 52 rescues and 11 units of equipment from the Ministry of Emergency Situation is still working on the plane crash. And the plane crash was a collision of flock of birds. So the special commissions should conduct an investigation in the connection of the crash. That's all what we know from the Minister of Transport and from the Minister of Emergency Situation of Kazakhstan.
Right. Christina, also any word as far as the reason for this crash? Any initial information why this plane suddenly, in fact, crashed?
As far as we know, the cause was a collision with a flock of birds.
All right, thank you for joining us with all those details at this moment. In fact, Christina giving us a view of what had happened at this moment. 27 people have been taken to the hospital after this plane crashed. Let me also bring in Sanjay Lazar, aviation expert, who is with us at this moment. Vishnu Shom, my colleague, is also, in fact, with us. All right, we'll go to Vishnu in just a short while from now. But Mr. Lazar, thank you so much for joining us. You've seen the video as well, and it suddenly happened. I mean, the plane requested emergency landing, and it suddenly, even before people could react, it was on a very quick spiral down before it crashed, sir.
Yes. First of all, it's a tragic accident, and the visuals, I've gone through a number of videos from various angles, and it's reported that the aircraft was en route to Baku and was diverted due to fog. It did circle a bit here and then suddenly plummeted. Now I heard your other correspondent from Sputnik talking about a bird hit, but I can't seem to imagine that it could be such a disastrous bird hit at such a height, and it suddenly crash landed in a ball of flame, which I think probably we'd have to wait for the investigations and look deeper into it. But it's miraculous that 27 people were taken to the hospital. We believe there are between 20 and 25 survivors. I'm praying that they recover more. But looking at the way that it imploded on impact and just burst into flames, hard to say that there would be more. But we are keeping our fingers crossed and praying. But it will be interesting to see what the results of an investigation would be, because there don't seem to be any impact of birds initially in any of the videos that I have seen, or sudden deceleration. So it's quite a mystery. And this is an Embraer, and it's been a reasonably safe aircraft in all versions. They've had about 7 or 8 accidents so far, but this is really unusual. So I'm sure the people at Embraer will also want to look at it and chip in.
That is exactly what I was coming to next, just to get a sense of the aviation safety record of Azerbaijan as well, and the airlines. Like you said, that relatively there hasn't been much, in fact, mishaps as far as this airlines is concerned. In that regard, could you also tell us what aircraft was this, and what make was this aircraft, and any information regarding that?
This is an Embraer, and this is a Brazilian aircraft. It's a reasonable, that's what I was talking about, a reasonably safe type of aircraft. And, a couple of, an Indian airline also operates it within India, and it's had a very good safety record by and large. So I would not put it on the aircraft type, or it's got to do with other circumstances. Azerbaijan Airlines has an average safety record, so there's nothing to write home about, nor is there anything to panic about. This has to be something out of the ordinary. During the history of Embraer, they've only had 8, serious accidents so far, like I said. And I do not believe that this is, something to do with the aircraft. I think it's something else. So probably, like I said, I'd rather, discretion is the better part of valor here. I'd rather wait for an investigation to report what the facts are than speculate.
Thank you so much. Just stay on with me, Mr. Lazar. My colleague Vishnu Shom is also joining us on the phone line at this moment. Vishnu, what is the information that you are picking up as far as the survivors are concerned? Any initial reports about the reason for this crash?
Well, firstly, the aircraft in question is an Embraer E190 aircraft. It is an extremely new aircraft. It has a very decent safety record and reliability record. Now, there are at least, we are told at this stage that there are 25 survivors from this crash. There were nearly 70-odd passengers on board, nationalities of several countries, several Russian, several from Azerbaijan, several from other countries as well. An investigation has obviously been launched into this. There is a couple of preliminary points which I've been able to pick up on based on data which I've looked at from flight data, from Flight Radar 24. The E190 made impact with the ground at a speed of 211 knots ground speed, which translates to more than 390 kilometers per hour. I've seen the entire video which was available of the final 3-odd minutes of the flight. The pilot, the aircraft was oscillating a bit. It was going up and down. Towards the last stages of the flight, it descended very sharply. It picked up airspeed to a significant extent before the pilot attempted to pull out to flare to reduce the angle of attack going into the landing. Unfortunately, that did not work out, obviously, for whatever the reasons are, and it made impact at a speed of more than 390 kilometers per hour or 211 knots. Now, just by way of information, and this isn't necessarily or isn't likely a cause of the crash, Flight Radar 24 tracks most aircraft around the world, civilian aircraft. They track it through various means. One of those is through a system called ADS-B, which generates data on the exact location of the aircraft. It's based on signals which the aircraft actually, signals from the aircraft. Flight Radar 24 says that this particular aircraft encountered GPS jamming or global positioning system jamming as a result of which the ADS-B signal was lost to the receivers of Flight Radar 24. So for a large part of the flight, they didn't have a direct fix on the location of the aircraft, but they did pick it up towards the end of the flight, and they were able to record through data the final few moments of the flight, the details of which I have indicated to you. The aircraft did appear to make a few circuits of near the airport or the area where it finally went down, and it then did go down very tragically, and it has resulted in a significant loss of life. In terms of Azerbaijan Airlines, there have been a couple of incidents. In 2005, there was an Antonov AN-140, which is a Russian-built aircraft that crashed shortly after takeoff from Baku. That resulted in the death of 23 people on board. There was an emergency in December. There were earlier concerns as well, but no other crashes I'm aware of. But in terms of the airline itself, it's a major carrier. It's been certified as a 4-star airline by Skytrax. It's 4 out of 5 possible stars. It has a decent quality of service. It is well known, several international operations. It successfully passed an IATA operational safety audit. IATA is the International Aviation Transport Association. So it is regarded to be a major airline. So what exactly happened? Were there factors other than technical factors which caused this? What were those? All of that we will need to wait and find out. But yes, the aircraft was squawking 7700. In other words, they had let out a distress signal. It was emanating a distress signal indicating that there was an emergency, shortly after which the aircraft crashed.
Vishnu, thank you for that detailed information as far as this crash is concerned. Let me also bring in our colleague who's joining us at this moment. Vishal is tracking this story very, very closely, sifting through all the news reports that are coming in at this moment. Vishal, what is the condition of the survivors? Some reports suggest 14 people have survived. Others, in fact, Christina was telling us 27 people have been taken to the hospital. What are we picking up?
So the latest is that more than 25 people seem to have survived this unfortunate crash. As you mentioned, there are other reports that suggest that about 14 have survived. Most of the reports that are coming in at the moment, they say that more than 24 people have survived this crash, which seems to be very surprising, because in a moment like this, in a situation like this, when the aircraft explodes on impact, generally most of the people are dead, because even though air travel is regarded as one of the safest forms of travel, it generally results in a disaster when there is a crash. So that didn't seem to happen this time, luckily, nonetheless, it's a tragedy. Right on Christmas Day, people were traveling from Baku to Grozny, which is an autonomous region in Russia. But it was a relatively small travel. It's just 500 kilometers away, the distance. It would have taken about 1 hour 10 minutes for the people to get from Baku to Grozny. But the flight had to be diverted to another location in Kazakhstan, which is also in the neighboring region. So all of that happened because there was some fog issue in the Grozny airport. That's what the authorities are saying at the moment. And the diversion happened, and there was some emergency situation inside the aircraft, because as our experts have been saying that the aircraft was emanating some distress signal as it approached the airport. So all of that will come into picture when the initial investigation gives out a report. At the moment, we can say that more than 40 people have been confirmed killed, and about 25 seem to have survived. Whether or not the crew survived, that is another question. But at this moment, it is a tragedy that is still unfolding, and we can confirm that more than 40 people have been killed.
Okay, Vishal, stay on with me. Mr. Lazar, may I understand from you, like Vishal was telling us at this moment, that there was some kind of distress signal that was also, in fact, that also emanated from the aircraft. Can it be ruled out that there is any foul play as far as this aircraft is concerned? I mean, because a lot of people, and I'm going through many posts, because Russia is involved in a conflict with Ukraine, a lot of these kind of things also give a lease of life to a lot of conspiracy theories.
Well, Ankit, first of all, I'd just like to say that, Vishnu was bang on. I've read all the reports that Vishnu spoke about, and he was very correct on the GPS-B and the GPS-A trackers by Flight Radar 24. I personally, from the videos, it does not look like any foul play occurred. So I do believe that it's either something extraneous or a pilot error or some malfunction in the system. We'll have to wait for the investigation. Very interesting. I think Vishal mentioned the number of survivors, as did your colleague from Sputnik, Russian television. If you notice the images of the aircraft has split. I'm barely speculating right now, but I do believe a large number of the survivors that you've seen are probably from that split section, which did not explode completely. You see, there are two parts. You can see one part has exploded and burnt into flames, and the other part has been left behind. So perhaps the survivors that we are seeing, the 25 or the 27 who are now in hospital, are probably from that group. And I pray that more survive and recover. But I would not like to speculate on whether it was part of the Ukrainian attack or the war. No, it doesn't seem that to me right at this point.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lazar, for joining us at this moment. Also, thanks to Vishal for bringing us the latest on this story. Thanks, Christina, for telling us what is happening there on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep a very close eye on this tragic incident, in fact, coming in on the Christmas day. Moving on now to Chennai, where a shocking report is coming in from the city where an engineering student was sexually assaulted inside one of the most prestigious universities in the city, the Anna University. The second-year engineering student was sexually assaulted and her male friend was beaten up. Police is still, in fact, looking for two suspects as far as this case is concerned.
The capital of Tamil Nadu, headquarters of Tamil Nadu, is becoming a lawless city. This government has got no control on law and order. We strongly condemn this. This is really shocking. A girl has been gang raped, that too in Chennai. Can't believe it. That is the state of law and order. This government has got no excuse to say anything on this. Shame on this government, shame on the chief minister, shame on the departments. How dare this can happen in Chennai? BJP strongly condemn this. Whoever has done this should be immediately arrested and justice to be done.
Sam, Daniel, my colleague, is joining us with more details on this story. Sam, at this moment, of course, the politics aside, what is the situation as far as the girl is concerned, and where is the police in their investigation?
The police say investigation is underway, Ankit. They are screening all the available CCTV footage from the Anna University campus. We understand they're also interrogating a few suspects, including some of her classmates and her male friend, who was allegedly beaten up before the young woman was sexually assaulted on campus. And police say in a few hours there could be some kind of a breakthrough in terms of identifying who could be the alleged perpetrator. At the moment, there is no clarity if the perpetrators are from the campus, students or staff or workers there, or are they from outside. And this has certainly raised several questions in terms of concerns over women's safety. This has happened on a campus that's very prestigious, one of the premier institutions in the city, the heart of Chennai, and already the leader of opposition, Edapadi Palaniswamy, has raised concerns saying this is a clear sign of declining law and order, as he calls it, and the BJP state chief Annamalai too has said there is no sense of fear, and this has taken the state to a dark period, as he calls it. But in terms of the investigation, the police expect some kind of a breakthrough by this evening. This has allegedly happened on the 23rd, and the young student had reported the next day, that's yesterday, based on which a case of sexual assault has been registered, and no formal arrest as we speak now, but police expect a quick breakthrough.
Right, so the police is hoping that there will be some sort of a breakthrough soon, but You know, Sam, it also raises questions, not only just on the university, because of course the campuses have their own security system, their guards, so on and so forth, but also in a sense, the question mark on the policing, the fear of law as far as Chennai is concerned.
That's what the opposition has been time and again alleging, that one thing is on the way the police act after a crime has been committed, but it's another thing that generally among the antisocials or those who violate law, there is very little sense of fear either over the police or over the law. That's something the opposition has been saying, but this has been denied by the state police. They cite data saying that the crime rate in the state has been declining. But when incidents like this happen, particularly incidents of sexual assault of women, certainly it shakes up the confidence people have on the police, and it takes a long time for them to repose that kind of a trust. And they hope that there will be a quick, impartial investigation, and whoever are the perpetrators, they will be brought to book. Police say the woman student is doing fine. Whether they have subjected her to the medical examination mandatory, at the moment there is no clarity, but we expect a formal response very soon.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details, Sam. Daniel, in fact, reporting on this story. Let me very quickly go across to this breaking news which is coming in at this moment. There is a key NDA coordination meeting at the BJP chief JP Nadda's residence. In fact, we are getting you the inside scoop of what happened in this NDA huddle on the Ambedkar controversy that remained a big talking point between all the alliance partners. In fact, coordination between the allies was also discussed. Home Minister Amit Shah, JP Nadda addressed the meeting and discussed joint efforts to counter the opposition, which is in fact quite aggressive as far as the BJP is concerned, attacking the government and the BJP specifically on the Ambedkar issue. Let me bring in my colleague Vasudha Venugopal, who's joining us with more details on this. Vasudha, important meeting, and you've got us some key details of what is happening inside. It also underlines the fact that the BJP wants the allies to step up their efforts in countering the opposition's attack, specifically on the Ambedkar issue.
That's right, Ankit, and I come to you from right outside JP Nadda's residence. JP Nadda is the BJP president, and just a short while ago, this very important meeting of NDA leaders got over. In fact, Chandrababu Naidu, the most important constituent of NDA with 16 MPs, was among the last to leave. He, along with the party leader, Krishna Devarailu, and of course, Ramo Naidu, Civil Aviation Minister, were among the last to leave. But of course, this meeting saw all important NDA parties taking part. Eknath Shinde, the former Chief Minister and presently Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, could not make it, but of course he sent Pratap Rao Jadhav, Senior Minister. He also, Jiten Ram Manjhi, Lalan Singh, Anupriya Patel, H.D. Kumaraswamy, several people were there, and Nitish Kumar could not make it, but Lalan Singh was there in his place. But the most important thing in this meeting was the central figure was, of course, Amit Shah, and he spoke the most, is what we hear. JP Nadda was also there. He also spoke, and the primary, the central point, the pivotal point of this meeting was to ensure effective, seamless coordination amongst all NDA partners when it comes to ensuring that the narrative of the NDA is taken to the ground, and the opposition's, allegations on Amit Shah and on the BJP that they are anti-Dalit, or for that matter, they've not worked for the empowerment of Dalits, does not take shape on ground. The BJP and the NDA wants to ensure that all MPs work as NDA MPs, and they want them to counter the opposition's allegations, opposition's narrative on caste, Ambedkar and social justice very effectively on ground, which is why there's already a committee in place. There'll be more MPs there, and there will be in some ways some sense of monitoring that everybody is on the same page when it comes to narratives that are taken on the ground, and also when it comes to central schemes, specifically for deprived sections of the society. All NDA allies will have to work in tandem with each other to ensure that people on ground feel that the government, the central government and the NDA government, the state government is working for them, and there is no discrimination of any kind. In fact, in the last few days, NDA allies have come out in support of Amit Shah. In fact, Chandrababu Naidu in the last 2-3 days has also spoken about how he also used to be seen, called as anti-farmer by opposition in Andhra Pradesh, which is a complete lie. And he says that he has been a victim of manipulated statements, of twisted narratives, and this is something that everyone needs to watch out for. The allies are completely with NDA, with Amit Shah on this, and this meeting was only to strengthen that support and ensure that all NDA allies speak in one voice, especially to the people of the country with regard to caste and Ambedkar.
Thank you so much, Vasudha, for joining us with those details coming in from this key meeting of the NDA, which is taking place at JP Nadda's residence. Moving on, in an unprecedented move, two Delhi departments, which are under the government of Delhi, have released public notices saying the welfare scheme launched by Aam Aadmi Party have not been notified by the government and are non-existent. Senior officers in Delhi government have released a public notice and disowned the registration process started by Chief Minister Atishi and former Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal for two schemes announced by the ruling Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital. The Department of Women and Child Development, in a public notice in newspapers, has said the Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana does not exist and has not been approved by the Delhi government. It has urged citizens to refrain from sharing personal information with individuals or groups claiming association with this fake scheme, as it could result in identity theft and financial fraud. Similarly, the Health and Family Welfare Department has also debunked claims about a non-existent Sanjeevani Yojana, which allegedly promises free healthcare for residents over 60 years in the national capital. The notice advises the people of Delhi to be cautious and not to be misled by fraudulent claims about free medical services. The latest flashpoint, which comes weeks ahead of the Delhi Assembly polls, sparked a slugfest between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party.
तो जाहिर तौर पे ये चुनावी घोषणा है, चुनावी घोषणा के बेसिस पे जनता को भरोसा है, तो जनता को भरोसा है, जनता रजिस्टर कर रही है। जो लोग रजिस्टर कर रहे हैं उन लोगों को चुनाव के बाद हम अपने ये वाली वो दिलाएंगे, उनको ये बेनिफिट दिलाएंगे। इनका पूरा मकसद है कि जनता को 2100 रुपए की योजना का बेनिफिट ना मिले। इनका पूरा मकसद है कि जनता को संजीवनी योजना का बेनिफिट ना मिले।
सर, आज जो पब्लिक नोटिसेस जो इशू हुए थे मुख्यमंत्री महिला सम्मान योजना और फिर संजीवनी योजना के बाद, अब अरविंद केजरीवाल ने बोला है कि ये झूठ है और फिर जो ऑफिसर्स हैं उन पे कार्रवाई भी की जाए।
अरविंद केजरीवाल को चाहिए कि जब ये बोल रहे थे कि वो झूठ है तो उनको आतिशी मार लेना को भी साथ में कटघरे में खड़ा करना चाहिए। दिल्ली में सरकार आम आदमी पार्टी की है, मुख्यमंत्री आतिशी मार लेना, मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री उस पार्टी के संयोजक हैं। अरविंद केजरीवाल जाके कहते हैं कि हम ये महिला सम्मान, मुख्यमंत्री महिला सम्मान योजना करेंगे, संजीवनी करेंगे, और आतिशी मार लेना की सरकार एक विज्ञापन निकालती है कि जो भी व्यक्ति